Hey everybody, Chris Eden Green here, and coming up as a little taster of what to expect from me in 2024. It's no secret that last year was pretty rough on me. Between burnout, getting a tumour, spinal surgery, the increased cost of living, and then shortly before Christmas, a car accident, which is why this channel update is coming to you a month later than I'd planned, I didn't get everything done that I would like to have done in 2023. So I'd just like to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who's continued to tune in despite my output being below expectations. But I can confirm that Steam Locos in Profile will return this year. Paint Your Engine and possibly Railreads might return if enough people would like to see them continue. Gauge the Issue though, I'm not so sure. I can't lie to you when I say the last year or so of episodes have been a bit of a drag to make. Maybe it's because it's been going on for 7 years. Maybe it's because I had a tumour dug out of my spine last year and I'm still getting back up to speed. Maybe it's because the subject matter hasn't always been the most rewarding. I mean, who wanted Howard Jones to pass away? Or who wants the rail strikes to continue, other than maybe politicians? Maybe it's because some subjects, like discrimination or sexism in railway circles, keep coming up and it just wears me down. Or maybe it's because I've got ideas for different content going forward, and right now, Gauge the Issue doesn't really fit with what I've got in mind. But I also know that some people do tune in specifically for Gauge the Issue. If you're one of those people and would like to see it continue, then feel free to let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'll do a few more for now and then phase it out if something else becomes worthy of taking its place, but only you guys can tell me if it's definitely something worth continuing or not. As for what I've got in mind, there are different kinds of editorial style videos that I'd like to explore about railway history and heritage in general, but while I'd like to try new things, Steam Locos in Profile will be back. There's going to be a few tweaks as to the rules as to what we cover on the show. There's likely to be more narrow gauge types getting coverage this year. Soul Survivors may get more coverage in the future. Not as Soul Slips, because the 2 minutes or so of close-ups isn't really a format I'd like to introduce, but I hope as more normal slips, provided the engine in question is operational and it doesn't take 10 years of chasing all over the country to get all the footage, or suddenly gets withdrawn for an overhaul halfway through shooting. Some types may end up getting grouped together as developments of each other. The only major rule is that it has to exist in preservation. I know people have asked me time and again if I'll review this type or that type of extinct class of engine, but if it only exists in archive form or model and miniature form, then it's more likely to end up being covered on Paint Your Engine for reasons I've explained before. And if anyone wants to send suggestions or requests, I would kindly ask that you please don't do that. Don't misunderstand, it's nice to hear what people would like to see, but when it can take years to put an episode together, requests and suggestions can get overwhelming sometimes. Chances are I'm already working on it, or in some cases, like the Mersey Railway shunting engine Cecil Rakes, it just isn't accessible to film. As to what engines will appear on slips, well, maybe these shots might give you an idea of what might appear this year. I know I've teased some of these on and off many times over the years, but as with everything to do with filming steam engines, you can never really guarantee what's going to be running until it turns up. So like previous years, I can't confirm everything that will be covered this year. But I can confirm the first slip of 2024 will be a special on the London and South Western Railway Adams T344Os, which you can see right now via early access. That's right, I've overhauled my Patreon and introduced YouTube membership with multiple tiers and rewards. I'll still be selling episodes on DVD and digital download from my online shop if that's what people would prefer, as unlike major film companies, I can still appreciate the value that some people see in owning your own copy that you can still watch whenever you want without being governed by outside circumstances. But I also appreciate that some people prefer the convenience of streaming, and I'd like to try and continue broadcasting new episodes online for as long as it's viable for me to do so. So, on both Patreon and YouTube membership, you now have the following options. You can become an official patron or YouTube member for just £1 a month. Every £1 helps to keep this whole thing to continue. But for £3.50 a month, you can now earn your name in the credits and early access to new slips and other new videos up to a month in advance. For £6.50 a month, you can gain the above perks and access to the whole back catalogue of Slips episodes. including the DVD bonus films such as the Bodnamona Barclays, the Kriegslogs, the Romney Hythe and Dymchurch Fleet, and much more, as well as the whole Maxim miniatures and USA releases. Then, for £9 a month, you can gain feature-length access to bigger projects like Midland and Great Northern Retraced, Beyond the Sunset, Going Great Central, and the 2023 Imlek special, as well as access to new outtakes and director's commentaries, which will be added to this perk over the course of time. All of these for the cost of one fast food meal a month. But what does that mean for Slips on YouTube in general? For the last 8 years, I've kept the 4 latest episodes free at any given time, simply because I know how easily accessible YouTube is in every household, and some people, who simply can't afford nice things, just need a means of escapism. So when a new episode comes along, the oldest one comes down and becomes paid only. Now, I'd like to try and allow that cycle to continue, so here's what I'm planning to do. Each new episode will go out via the early access tier first. After a month or so, it'll be published on YouTube free for all to see. Then, as each new episode comes along, it'll be pushed further and further towards the end of the cycle of 4, that is, 1 early access and 3 freeware, before it becomes paid only, either on a DVD, as a digital download, or on the £6.50 tier on Patreon or YouTube membership. There may still be episodes that will remain exclusive to Patreon, membership or DVD, but we'll just have to see how things work out. Incidentally, if you're interested, there are 2 episodes free to watch on YouTube officially listed on other channels. The Brighton Terriers episode can be seen on the We Are Railfans channel, and the Welshpool and Llanfair's Earl and Countess can be seen on the Worley Model Railway Club's channel. These are both officially agreed with yours truly, so they're the only legitimate uploads outside my normal feed. But please keep in mind I'm doing all of this with a proviso. Some of you may remember the kerfuffle I had a few years ago when someone downloaded 2 episodes from YouTube during their free stint, uploaded them to Facebook, and then Facebook declared they belonged to that person instead of me. Ever since then, I've been apprehensive with uploading new stuff to YouTube, but at the same time, I don't want to just shut everything away from anyone who doesn't steal other people's content. It's still against YouTube's terms of service to download videos from this site, but people have still done it anyway without a moment's thought over what goes into making them. The fact is that I don't do this for a hobby. It's my living, my full-time job, and it requires full-time levels of commitment, research, writing, shooting, editing, and generally putting things together from scratch. I know lots of people take videos of trains for their hobby or for their holidays, but just because you enjoy a job, regardless of what that job is, doesn't mean you don't have to eat or keep a roof over your head. If you're the one making the content, your needs are just as valid as everyone else's. And as for holidays, 2 weeks lounging by a pool in Spain is a holiday. Content making is a serious business, especially these days, even if it is to do with trains. So if that sort of thing is going to keep happening, then I may just have to pull the plug on free YouTube content altogether. I don't want it to come to that, and I'm sure some people will take exception to that and tell me piracy is inevitable no matter what happens. But at the end of the day, if you had to sell your product in order to make it and afford to live, then I think you would feel pretty disheartened if people thought it was okay to just take it away from you. All that being said, I know the vast majority of you are not like that, and I wouldn't want to take my content away from YouTube either. I'm still incredibly grateful to anyone who chooses to watch my stuff, to give it a like, to share it with their friends, to subscribe for more, to discuss it, and especially support me monetarily so I can carry on making slips for everyone to see, and ultimately, make them better wherever I can. I've said it before and I'll say it again. To those of you who've supported me down the years, whether you've just liked, shared and subscribed, or contributed to one of my crowdfunding campaigns, or come up to me in person and complimented my stuff, you guys are your own heroes, so thank you, and don't ever stop being awesome. Anyway, I think that's about all I've got to say for now. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you all again soon. Meanwhile, happy 2024, one and all.